John Krasinski, Timothée Chalamet, Danny DeVito. They're just some of the big Hollywood stars that walk through the Marvel hallways. Now, one would think that actors of such talent can almost choose their parts, right? What if we told you that some of your favorite actors auditioned for iconic Marvel roles but got a cosmic no instead? Kicking off our list is the incredibly charismatic John Krasinski. You might know him from The Office, or more recently, A Quiet Place. But did you know that he auditioned for the iconic role of Captain America?
Test, what was it like?
It was a big deal for me because, I mean, first of all, I love those Marvel movies. I love superheroes. I love imagination. So when they asked me to test, they actually allowed me to put on the suit. I was on a set. It was all very interesting.
Back in 2010, when Marvel Studios was casting for Steve Rogers, Krasinski was one of the frontrunners. This was during the casting process for Captain America: The First Avenger. Krasinski even got to wear the suit and met some of the other already casted heroes.
But I remember the only bummer of it was I was putting on the suit, just watching it. I was like, this is so amazing. And I got about right to my waist. I was still shirtless, feeling pretty good about myself. It wasn't 13 hours yet, but I felt pretty good. And all of a sudden, Chris Hemsworth walked by as Thor, and he's like, "Hey, mate." And I went, "I'm good. This is stupid."
He had the charm and physique, but in the end, the role went to Chris Evans, who went on to embody Cap's character perfectly. However, John Krasinski didn't leave empty-handed. He eventually joined the MCU as Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic, in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, showcasing his superhero potential and making fans eager and anxious on a future return. Now let's talk about a surprise audition. Danny DeVito for Rocket Raccoon. Yes, you heard that right. Danny DeVito, known for his roles in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Matilda, auditioned for the voice of Rocket, the witty and lovable character from Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn, the film's director, even considered him for the role. This happened in the early stages of casting for the first Guardians film. DeVito's unique voice and comedic timing made him an interesting choice for Rocket. However, Bradley Cooper eventually lent his voice to Rocket, bringing the character to life. Moving on to the God of Thunder himself, Liam Hemsworth, yes, the brother of Chris Hemsworth, auditioned for the role of Thor prior to his brother's casting.
Up for Thor?
He was, yeah. I auditioned and then didn't get the part, and then they auditioned him, and he basically got down to the last, like, 4 people, and then didn't get it. And then I came back in and...
And how was that at home?
In the early stages of casting for Thor, Liam Hemsworth was among the actors auditioning for the role. Moreover, he was one of the frontrunners and was one of the finalists. While he definitely has the looks of a Norse god, the role ultimately went to his brother, Chris Hemsworth. However, Liam didn't miss out on the superhero action entirely, as he starred in the Hunger Games franchise and made his mark in Hollywood. Did you know that our beloved Bucky, the great Sebastian Stan, originally auditioned for the role of his best pal, Captain America?
Sebastian Stan had auditioned for Captain America, but we felt there was a bit of darkness there. He ended up being Bucky.
Sebastian Stan, best known as the Winter Soldier, initially auditioned for the role of Steve Rogers, just like John Krasinski. This audition took place before Chris Evans was cast as the first Avenger. While Chris Evans was the ultimate choice, Stan's audition was so impressive that the casting director saw him as the perfect Bucky Barnes instead. His audition showcased his dedication and fit for the role, and he's done such an incredible job in that role, proving that sometimes things work out for the best. We could definitely say that as Bucky, he's looking good.
Do you remember her? Sebastian Stan. Man, you're looking good.
Now let's talk about Karen Gillan, who auditioned for a role that interestingly didn't go to waste.
I had been a fan of Karen. She came and she had auditioned for Agent 13 in Captain America. That's for the story. I thought you liked it. Karen was someone who was an incredibly grounded and solid actor, but who was also kooky and charming.
Karen Gillan, known for her striking performance as Nebula, initially auditioned for the role as Sharon Carter, Steve Rogers' love interest in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. She auditioned for the character, who eventually became Peggy Carter's niece and a prominent figure in the MCU. Though Karen didn't get that part, she ended up playing Nebula, one of the standout characters in the Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers films, and her performance has been nothing short of stellar. Talk about a twist of fate. Moving on to another fascinating audition story of one of the greatest actresses out there, we have Natalie Portman, who tried her hand at being a different kind of Avenger. Natalie Portman, famous for her portrayal of Jane Foster, auditioned for the role of Black Widow. Ultimately, Scarlett Johansson snagged the part, and Portman's character, Jane Foster, went on to become the mighty Thor in Thor: Love and Thunder. It just goes to show how versatile actors in the MCU can be, and that the part doesn't always go to the biggest star. Now, let's swing on over to one of the most iconic Marvel superheroes, Spider-Man. Timothée Chalamet, the Oscar-nominated actor, auditioned for the role of Peter Parker. Chalamet's audition demonstrated his youthful energy and charisma, but as we all know, the role eventually went to Tom Holland, who has been a fantastic addition to the MCU. But don't be too sad for Timothée Chalamet. He's carved out his own impressive career in Hollywood. Plus, Tom Holland has stated that he would really like to see him in the Spider-Man universe.
I think
or
it would be a great.
Spider-Man, who knows?
I think it'd be good to bring him in as an FOS, and then he kind of becomes bad. And then he could be a villain.
Yeah.
He'd be a good villain.
Yeah, I think so too.
Alright. It's time to discuss one of the biggest stars on this list, and one of the most talented actors of our time, Mathew McConaughey.
Yeah, as far as superheroes go, man, my favorite's always been the Incredible Hulk. Why? He's got such a great constitution. What I mean by that? He's never looking for trouble.
Mathew McConaughey wanted to join in on the action before Edward Norton stepped into the Hulk's role in The Incredible Hulk. He recently confessed to Josh Horowitz in an interview that he strongly wanted to play the Hulk, but Marvel was simply uninterested, and Mark Ruffalo ultimately became everyone's favorite gamma-powered hero. However, McConaughey's charm found its way into other fantastic projects, proving that the actor always keeps us guessing. Up next, we have the formidable Aquaman, Jason Momoa, who once was wanted to be the destroyer of the Marvel Universe. Momoa was offered the role of Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy, but the actor rejected the role by stating that the role wasn't a fit for him. He spent 4 years on Stargate Atlantis playing Rodon, a similar character who groaned and spoke nothing. Whether or not anyone saw it, he was already out there and done that, so now he was looking for some more experience. And so the role ultimately went to Dave Bautista, who delivered unforgettable performances as the hilarious and endearing Guardian. Now, arriving at our last act, we're circling back to Spider-Man with a twist. So last but certainly not least, we have James Franco's audition for the role of Spider-Man. Before Tobey Maguire donned the iconic red and blue suit, James Franco auditioned for the role of Spider-Man. While he didn't land the web-slinging gig, Franco was cast as Harry Osborn, Peter Parker's close friend and eventual adversary in the original Spider-Man trilogy directed by Sam Raimi. Franco's audition showcased his versatility, but the casting team saw Tobey Maguire as the perfect Peter Parker. Franco's portrayal of Harry Osborn, though, remains a memorable part of Spider-Man's cinematic history.
While I was doing James Dean, I auditioned with Sam, met Sam, and I was actually up for the Peter Parker role for a while, and then they decided to go with Tobey, which is an excellent choice.
So, who do you think would have been perfect for the role? Did Marvel make the right choice by rejecting these actors? Do let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. See ya!